The shocking news of pension cuts affecting 500,000 UK pensioners has left the nation in disbelief. As the cost of living crisis deepens, many retired citizens are now facing an unexpected financial burden, losing an average of £766 next month. This sudden reduction comes as a devastating blow to those who have spent decades working, contributing to society, and carefully planning their retirement, only to find themselves struggling to make ends meet. The government's decision has sparked outrage, with many questioning how such an essential financial safety net can be compromised at a time when pensioners are already under immense pressure from rising energy bills, soaring food costs, and increasing medical expenses. For many, the monthly pension is not just an income, it is a lifeline. Losing £766 in a single month is not merely an inconvenience, but a significant financial setback that could force difficult choices between basic necessities. Some may have to cut down on heating their homes during the cold months, while others may need to rethink their grocery shopping, sacrificing nutritious meals just to stay afloat. Healthcare, already a pressing concern for older citizens, may become even more unaffordable, putting their well-being at risk. The financial stress is further compounded for those with outstanding mortgage payments, rent, or other debts. Many pensioners who had anticipated a stable retirement are now finding themselves in dire straits, wondering how they will cope with a sudden shortfall. While the government has justified these cuts by citing economic pressures, critics argue that the move is unjust and unfairly targets some of the most vulnerable members of society. Organizations supporting pensioners have strongly condemned the decision, warning that it could push thousands into poverty and financial insecurity. This reduction feels like an added punishment rather than a necessary adjustment. Advocacy groups are urging policymakers to reconsider and find alternative solutions that do not leave pensioners out in the cold. Protests and petitions are gaining traction as people come together to voice their frustration and call on the government to prioritize the needs of pensioners instead of implementing cuts that only deepen their financial woes. As we delve deeper into the impact of this decision, it is crucial to understand that pensioners are not just statistics on a spreadsheet. They are real people who have contributed immensely to society. Many have spent their entire lives working, paying taxes, and contributing to the economy, only to find themselves struggling in their golden years. The sudden cut not only affects their immediate financial situation, but also shatters the trust they placed in the pension system. The fear of future instability now looms large, with many questioning whether their pensions will remain secure in the years to come. The mental and emotional toll of such uncertainty cannot be overlooked, as stress and anxiety about finances have serious implications for the health and well-being of older citizens. The news has left many pensioners wondering what their options are. Some may be forced to seek part-time work despite age and health limitations just to supplement their lost income, while others may have to rely more heavily on family support, challenging already strained relationships. Charity and food banks, which have already seen a significant increase in demand due to the cost of living crisis, may find themselves overwhelmed by even more pensioners in need of assistance. The domino effect of this decision stretches beyond just the pensioners themselves, affecting families, communities, and support systems that are already under immense pressure. Adding to the frustration is the fact that some pensioners, particularly those living abroad, have been dealing with frozen pensions for years. Unlike their counterparts in the UK, they do not receive annual increases in their state pensions, leaving them financially disadvantaged despite having contributed to the system. The recent cuts only serve to highlight the inconsistencies and inequities within the pension structure, further fueling the debate on how the government should manage pensions more fairly and sustainably. Critics argue that while economic adjustments may be necessary, targeting pensioners, who have limited means to recover financially, is neither ethical nor justifiable. As discussions around the pension cuts continue, many are calling for urgent action. Politicians, advocacy groups, and concerned citizens are demanding that the government reassess its priorities and explore alternative solutions that do not place the burden on pensioners. Suggestions include increasing taxes on the wealthiest individuals or redirecting funds from other budget areas to ensure that pensioners do not bear the brunt of economic hardships. While the government maintains that the cuts are necessary for long-term stability, the immediate impact on pensioners raises serious ethical and moral questions. Is it fair to take away financial support from those who need it the most? Is there a better way to balance the budget without harming pensioners who have already contributed their fair share to society? The conversation surrounding these cuts is far from over. It is crucial for pensioners and their families to stay informed and take action where possible. Whether it is signing petitions, reaching out to local representatives, or joining advocacy groups fighting for pensioners' rights. Every voice counts in pushing for a fairer system. As the financial landscape continues to shift, pensioners must also explore alternative ways to manage their expenses, whether through financial planning, seeking additional benefits, or accessing support services available to them. The road ahead may seem uncertain, but raising awareness and standing together as a community can help bring about meaningful change. For now, the reality remains that 500,000 pensioners in the UK are facing a significant financial loss next month, and the anger, frustration, and fear are palpable as they navigate this unexpected challenge. The hope is that policymakers will listen, reconsider their approach, and work towards a solution that prioritizes the well-being of pensioners rather than compromising their financial security. The fight for fair pensions continues, and the voices of those affected must not be ignored.